There is work to be done, and it is your work. Come up with ideas that actually work. Now, it's going to save you time, it's going to save you money. We do crazy billboards because we are selfish, we are not empathetic with the people. Because you can't tell me that you wrote everything on that billboard for somebody that is driving, that's going to spend just less than 5 seconds to grab everything you just put there on a highway. That is not just being unprofessional, you are being insensitive. And I think government should start flagging very busy people because it might cause accident. I'm going to show you how you can use AI to create content, come up with ideas that actually work, people are going to pay you for.
Life will test you. Creativity will stretch you. Business will expose you. Strategy will save you. Let's build with intention. Stay brand-wise with Dr. Paul.
What you should be considering is actually what content is and why people create content. Now, so what is very important, the first thing you understand is that there is work to be done and it is your work. All right, so let's understand that it is your work. So if you're a creator or you're a brand strategist or you're a designer, I've actually put together a course which is going to come out. It has more details about what I'm going to say, but for now, I'm going to show you how you can use AI to, create content, come up with ideas that actually work and that actually people are going to pay you for. Now, it's going to save you time, it's going to save you money. Remember, people are not paying you because of the time you spent doing something. It's because of the value you are able to deliver in doing that particular thing. So the goal of artificial intelligence is to help you do that same work more efficiently, faster, and even better. So some people even don't, give AI the chance to come up with copies for them. The only thing they use AI to do is to correct their grammars. So that is to say, you actually have to understand the elements of content, what makes content, and strategy, and it has to be human, it has to be relatable, it has to be in your environment. So why I say it has to be in your environment is because, for example, you cannot write a strategy, effective strategy for a place you don't have like the market analysis. For example, you can't write for the New York City because you have very limited understanding of what goes on there. You can't write maybe for Kogi State or for places you've not been to, but you can actually write for as a Nigerian generally, right? Because we have a common, thing, but you can't write for another country, with so much vigor because you don't know how it works. Now, because you have AI will not automatically go, because AI, most information in the software, maybe ChatGPT, may be outdated or maybe old information that is not there up to now. So, and most of us use free ones, which you are not sure that those free ones are up to date. Ability to already understand, how it works. So what we are going to be looking at, what you should be considering is actually what content is and why people create content. Now, content marketing has dated, far back during the days of magazine. In fact, what companies do during the days of magazine is that companies take, started writing magazines. Magazines were not supposed to make people money. They're supposed to just make, engage people, make people like you and all of that. So magazines, and then when people started reading more magazines, there were adverts in there. So it's the same thing we do today with social media. So most platforms or most companies, they just entertain you, and in between they put ads inside. So the goal is actually to get people like you, engage you, hold them grip before you are able to, make them give you their money. Like I always say, all you need to do is to get people to be emotional, high in energy or low in energy. They are going to give you anything they want, anything you want. So a part of the things that get people excited is money. And I said that is love, all right, is security, all right. Must have read it with Brian Tracy. If you have read to that point, there Tracy, prestige, all right, prestige. Think about it, FOMO, all right, fear of missing out. The list goes on and on. Or validation, all right. And I mean validation when their friends are always, when their friends want to, tell them that I like your shoe, the person feels happy that he's made a good choice, right? And everybody's like that. You get FOMO, fear of missing out. I mean, other people are having it. Why not you? Right? You have the prestige, how it's going to separate you from another class and put you in a different class. And people don't want to be in the lower class. They don't want to be in a particular class. So you just want them to feel, oh, this is going to change your story. That's what they want to hear there. Security, security of money, security of time, security of a lot of things, even life, right? It's going to protect you. It's going to make you not to lose money. It's going to protect you. And then you have love. People like love. All right, whatever that's going to make them feel loved, whatever going to make them love somebody. So however you put it, right, the engagement or the communication should fall between this and then money. Who doesn't like to make money? Everybody likes to make money. So if I'm able to make people money with my content, or tell them how they're going to make money or save money, make money or save money with whatever I'm selling, it becomes like one of the major reasons why they want to consider what you are selling in the first place. So these are major reasons, right? There are a lot of other reasons, but human beings, they like themselves so much. All right, you need to understand that. And when you understand that, you can sell anything to anybody, and you're gonna make shit ton of money. And now, if you are serving someone, which I always say, if you are serving someone, a service provider, helping other people create content, or help them sell a product, what's your major goal is to think of how, or the strategy that is going to get people engaged, or get people to like them first. But I always have this problem with clients lately. Everybody is looking at the mile other people that have made investments over the years have gotten, and they want to put so much pressure on you to get them to that point. The truth of the matter is that it's almost impossible. No matter how much you pump, Temu have to run for almost 2 years for us to get them here, and they pumped in a lot of money. All right. And that is where brands must or may invest in both marketing and branding, because if it's for marketing, pumping money anywhere, we're going to get products in the hands of people, but you may not necessarily have a connection with them. So it gets new brands, new startups very, 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 very confused and tense, because they must have invested money in buying products and all that, but now they're taking time to build a brand, which is not going to be easy. Now, if you decide to go and find influencers or people that are going to help you sell this brand, then you have a lot of things to consider. Values, okay, do they stand for what we stand? Do they have the kind of money we have? Can they get all the kind of money we want to get? So the only thing we rely on is creating a brand, creating something that people can connect emotionally. And when you run ads, hopefully you get people to buy a product. Now, products is one thing, but people is most important, because by the end of the day, people are the ones that are going to use the product. So that's always what I tell people. No matter if you bought the product, but now you have to think of how it's going to help make the life of people better. So everything here, our goal is how will it make the life of people better. Now, before we even look at this, we look at people. And we've already started though. So as a content person, or you want to create content or whatever, you must know this, right? People. Because what you are serving is people. You're not serving yourself. You're not trying to make yourself happy, even as a designer, photographer, videographer, whatever, whoever you are. The goal is the people, not even your clients, right? Because if I'm able to give my clients a roadmap of how I'm going to get him his number of people with my strategy, the clients will always say, go ahead. All right. But most times clients can also have their, have their own experiences, and, they may not want to tow your own route. But, overall, this is what you should be considering. It's never a straight line. So you learn in the process. Then people, and these people is people we call audience. All right. And then people, psychologically, I've forgotten what they call that thing. Psyops. Yes. So psyops, I've said that before. Psychological operations. Now, these are the things that you say. These are words that you say, all right, that get people to take a particular action, or make them feel they are losing out on something, they are missing out on something. So you get people in this web with your psyops. And then you also need to understand your people, their psychology, how people behave, their behavior pattern. And now, like I said, I always say it, the concept of advertisement is that it should be easier for people to escape a plane crash than to escape your ad. So you cannot be very kind. You should not be too kind trying to communicate what you sell or the impact of what you're selling, because when you are trying to be kind, which is one of the limiting factors, you say, our product really doing this. That is no longer your business. Your business is to communicate the benefits of the product, not the features of the product, right? If I'm able to, like today, I wanted to get a card, $1 card, and the lady is telling me, which one do you want, platinum or bronze, or whatever she said. And I'm like, Mama, I really don't know the features. Like, what does it do? What's the benefits of the card? What do I get? I asked again, okay. She didn't still understand what I'm saying. I started asking deeper. A client, a customer should not come to the point where they're asking and asking and asking and asking and asking. You need to communicate the benefits to them. Tell me the benefits. Okay, you have up to $500 to spend every month. You can do this, you can do it with this one. Then with this one, you can do this and this and this and with that one. Now, people want to know how it's going to help them and not basically what the feature is. No matter what, iPhone do, all right, or all the Androids and all of that stuff do, people want to just connect with one another and make calls. Every other thing is secondary. So that is that. Now, people's behavior is very important. I need to understand that at different ages, people react differently to different situations or different things. Now, maybe in the 20s, there's a way they think. Anybody within their 20s, the Gen Zs and all of that, have the way they think. All right, they are very fast, very spontaneous. They make fast decisions and they also make stupid decisions sometimes. They want to make money fast. They want to do all of that fast. Now, how that behavior works. Now, beyond that, if maybe they are going towards their 30s, early 30s, they're beginning to understand how life works better, they're beginning to make better decisions. They are, they want to save, they want to invest, they want to marry, they want to settle down, they want to, at 40s, they're already planning to, maybe start raising children and, this or that. As they're going down that age, there are things they do. So we need to consider those people. So very important. So we have the ages and the audience. Now, you don't go for ChatGPT to define your audience for you. All right, your audience should come from your analysis. You're making your data, you're collecting data from internet, from Google or something. ChatGPT has no business generating audience for you. Very important, right? You figure out your audience and detect their behavior, find their behavior, look for where data, search for data anywhere. Find it. Search for data, find the data, right? And put them, categorize them. Okay, these products will benefit these people and these people. So who it benefits should be your target audience, not just random figures. Now you now check their work. What do they do for a living, right? Where do they hang out? Right? How do they love? All right, how do they love and what do they love, down to what they eat. All right, these are the things that make them feel a certain type of way. And then you take it a step further. You now start looking at their locations and where do they live, because where people live inform how they buy. Do you understand? People in Enugu will not buy the way people in Abuja buy. People in Nsukka will not buy the way people in Enugu City buy. There are some things that might appear expensive, but for a Enugu person, the way he makes his money, how much he makes doesn't really matter at this point. He just, cares about the value or the satisfaction it gives him, without him trying to overthink or make things difficult for himself. So now, you've gathered all of this data, but there's one more thing, and that thing is now buying decision is a lot of things, but we're going to focus on just this few. I've told you people about what they call the large market triangle. These first people makes about 60% of the market, and this second people makes about 40, 25, and maybe 12. I don't know. Up to 40, 25. 13 and maybe some number here. So now, this smallest number are people that are already product aware. They call them product aware. They are already very aware of the product. They just want to buy because it's utility for them. They already have their people that sell to them, right? They already buy. Then these people have they have their tabs open. They've opened Konga, opened Gigi, opened this one, opened that one, and they're just making price comparisons. And these people are people that are just getting to learn about that product. They don't even know that they have a problem. All right, they're just about, oh, this one. And these people know nothing about you. They know nothing about the product. And this is actually the large market. Now, for us to be able to affect this large market, which these people were already too saturated, they already have plenty of products looking into their eyes. We always have problem with the large market. All right, especially the new business or a new content creator or employed somewhere. Your major problem is the large market. How do we get a large market? Now, some people say education and entertainment, which is very primary. All right, education and entertainment. Now, somebody said that if you say education doesn't include entertainment, you know nothing about the both. Right? So when you educate, you entertain, especially when it comes to social media. People are very shy to be goofy or do dance on TikTok, which I'm yet to dance on TikTok, but now it's not me. Right? Do some stuff to get people's attention. But you now forget that money, while your money is important, your greatest asset right now is attention. All right? Because that is why you pay the celebrities to be happy, because they have the eyes on the people's eyes are on them. All right, so we now look for attention. Okay, what do we do to get this category of people enticed, to get them happy, to get them educated, to educate them about other things, make them feel loved, make them feel that they need to know us better, because they call it know, like, trust technique, know, you, like strategy. And you gather all of that, but that is not even where the job starts. All right, well, you need to do all of this. We've talked about the how people buy. We've talked about the psychology of the people. Then we are looking at the large markets right now. Now, there's a part of sales which is a very core fundamental. This is maybe where you have to do consulting, where you have to do the numbers. But now our focus is content, which should convert to sales later, because sales also have its own psychology, and it's quite very deep and intense. And I used to tell people that some of these things we just come across by watching 2 or 3 videos online by someone will not make you a professional. You have to both read, practice, learn from a mentor, whatever, before you able to master the act of selling. All right, and selling doesn't begin the day you start opening your mouth to ask people for money. It begins by how you look, where you put yourself, where you are found the most, just perception first. All right, giving people an illusion, a perception that this is the kind of person you are. You're already automatically moving attention from maybe a category of people to a certain category of people. And it's not just about the look, it's about the expression, it's about how you say things, it's about the things you say, and and how you say them, even how you eat. If you are going to an event or you're going to a meeting and they invited you to a meeting, right? Invited you to a meeting for a dinner, and they brought food, and the food they brought, you don't know how to eat it. And you are trying to sell a property to them, like what million? They're like, this I cannot hold fuck. It's gonna fuck shit up. All right, so that is that. So these are the things, these are information gathering, right? Like, actually it's information, but I want to go to the part that I love the most, right? Which is where I like to spend time on, right? Now, why I like to spend time on here is because it transcends generation sometimes. It's within generation, but yet it transcends generation. So what part of conversation is that? What part of conversation is that? I'm going to tell you. That is when we start looking at the problems, the pain points, right? Now, some products might be very complex, but again, everybody have a problem. In fact, any new solution comes with a new problem. Those days I say, when I stop using generator, my life is gonna be every year I have to change water in my water. I have to service it, but not as, you understand, the problem might reduce, but you have to service your new problem. So even if your inverter is gone, is still alive, your battery is at a point you have to change it, which might be almost the same amount of generator at a time, but not the same amount of fuel. And then what you consider is the ease, the convenience, it brings, because you've been through it all. So when you come back to your house, you don't want to go through it all again, right? So look at the problems. Now, how do you even find problem? Because when you hear the concept of a hero, right? A hero is somebody who comes to save the day. That's why you call him a hero, right? And because he's coming to save the day, what it means is that the day has been in trouble, and the day doesn't know what to do. So a hero always appears miraculously. And if you have this at the back of your mind, now what you should be looking at is what is the pain that my people are going through, which is the people, back to the people. So at age 20 to 25, what is the possible pain? What is the possible aspirations these people are going through that they don't have a clue on how to solve at all? And then when you have that settled, you now start writing it down as minute as you can. You can ask Google, okay, at age 25 to 20 years, what are the possible pains these people might be going through? So ChatGPT can even help you with this, or other chat apps can help you. Okay, look at Nigeria, for example. That's what you ask. That's what you prompt. What are the possible challenges a person of this age is going to be passing through regarding XYZ? So maybe we're going to take maybe a gym, for example. Okay, so I want to launch a gym house. The name of the business is Emmanuel's Gym, right? I want to launch a gym house, and my target audience is 20 to 40. And I'll ask the GPT, what are the possible problems these people are facing right now? Or shame. Now, let me tell you. See, shame. It's tied to validation. Right? So what shame? Most times I try to be very detailed the word. What shame do these people go through right now that they're trying to cover or trying to come out of? So if you get those list of shames, list of pain points, things that makes them not to be loved, it could be fat body, it could be skinny body, it could be, because of that they can't come outside, because of that they lack confidence, blah blah blah. All those things they lack are what we call our enemy. So you define your enemy. That's what we call them, our enemy. Because what the Baba hero is coming to do is to take away the enemy. All right? That's what the Baba hero is coming to do, is to take away the enemy. All right? So you take away the enemy, our enemy. You're going to list all the shame of the enemy. Shame, they have big body. Some people say fat is derogatory, no problem. You are plus size, whatever. And, shame. You lack confidence. So write it as crude as you can. Leave ChatGPT out of this. Write in your domain. Think of it. Use your brain. Think. All right. You write all the shame, all the possible pain points. You can even add GPT, like I said. Google. People no longer use Google. They just go to ChatGPT. Google has more information even right now than ChatGPT does. All right. In fact, most of those information you see on Google, on GPTs were gotten from the web. So write out the shame, and then we now say, okay, so what are we going to be doing? Who is the hero, right? You define who the hero is, right? It may be maybe not necessarily that you're launching a gym, because I use the gym because it's more this thing. Maybe an app, all right, that can help people eat better or exercise themselves or whatever. So what solution are we bringing to these people? That is emotional, right? Emotional solutions first before we go to technical. All right. So you tell them, oh, we are restoring confidence, we are bringing back, and this is the selling point. That's what people should be selling. We are bringing back happiness, for example, the substance, the emotions. People that understood this already does many years ago. All right. It's we that are selling the real substance. But right now we're selling emotions. We're going to tell them, oh, the lovely things, the things that we, want to do the most. And it also applies to design as well. All right. Applies to design as well. Okay, how do I make the audience read without stress? How do I communicate in deep emotions? And that's why I tell people, when you're trying to communicate with your design, one of the reasons people just, the unwise people just swipe because they've seen it before. All right, and the hierarchy, things don't make sense to them, and there are things you see, you just want to wait and see what it draws you in a little to see what this whole thing is about. It's because the person designing this has empathy, right? So he has empathy, he feels that, okay, if I say it this way, if I put it this way, if I make the text bigger here, if I make this bigger here, it's going to capture the attention of the person, not necessarily, keeping it busy, as simple as possible, but the person is able to get everything they want. So everything, right, including billboards. Why we do crazy billboards? Because we are selfish. We are not empathetic with the people. Because you can't tell me that you wrote everything on that billboard for somebody that is driving. They're going to spend just less than 5 seconds to grab everything you just put there on a highway. That is not just being unprofessional. You are being insensitive. And I think government should start flagging very busy billboards, because it might cause accident. All right, maybe something that really interests you, but there's too much detail. Then you're trying to read, and the billboard, you somebody hits you or you hit somebody. So beyond design, see how design can save life, and design can also kill people, right? Bad designs kill faster than HIV, whatever terminal disease you can ever think of. Yes, you can be watching a billboard that is, has details that you want, but will you pull out your phone and start capturing the billboard? Sometimes just websites are enough. Sometimes the name of the company is enough. All right, just go home, Google. All right, so, and that works. And most people, billboards are basically not for conversion, it's for awareness. Some people think that putting your phone number, doing all of that, is going to give you conversion. Most times, conversions don't come. It's for awareness. When people have seen it many places, now start getting their attention. Oh, these people, what are they doing? Then if the phone number there, one of these days, they'll just Google. Most time people get phone numbers, unless you are trekking. So if you have a lot of things on your billboard, the chances that your target content is people that are trekking is very high. Hallelujah, somebody. So, so we get that, we determine the hero, what kind of hero we want to be. And then when we get that, we are good, right? And which brings us to the last part, the big ideas.